Okay, let's just dive right in. For the past couple of years, let's be honest, the words digital asset have been basically synonymous with chaos, with crashes, and with cartoons. A lot of people got burned, and a whole lot more stood on the sidelines and laughed. But what if that whole speculative explosion wasn't the end of the story? What if it was just the loud, messy, and frankly, clumsy end of Chapter 1?
Right. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off immediately. Your JPEG is worth 0. And you know what? It probably should be. The giant experiment in digital collectibles got way too hot, way too fast, and the market did what markets always do. It corrected. Brutally.
That whole period, that era of flipping cartoons for a quick buck to the greater fool, it's over. You can think of it as the Stone Age of digital ownership. It was loud, it was basic, and yeah, it was a little bit dumb. But it actually served a really important purpose. It stress-tested the core technology on a massive global scale.
Now, here's where the story gets really interesting. While all the headlines were writing obituaries for the entire space, the serious players, they just went quiet. They stopped trading pictures of bored apes, and they started building the financial and social plumbing of the future. This is the beginning of the utility era.
So, to really wrap your head around what's happening now, we have to look past the token. This is all about redefining what ownership even means by ignoring the hype and focusing on the actual underlying tech.
The term NFT, I know it's got a bad rap, but let's just strip it down to its technical definition for a second. All it is a digital certificate of ownership that is totally unique, can be proven to be real, and can't be faked or changed. That's it. The thing it represents, well, that's where it starts to get fun.
And this right here is the absolute key. Forget the word token. It's loaded with all kinds of speculative baggage. Instead, start thinking in terms of digital property rights. This isn't about some new kind of stock to gamble on. It's a fundamentally new way to prove you own something. Anything, really, in both the digital and the physical world.
I mean, just think about how we prove we own stuff right now. Take your house, for example. The proof you own it is literally a piece of paper, probably sitting in some dusty government filing cabinet. It can be forged, it can be destroyed in a fire, and trying to sell it requires a small army of people, lawyers, agents, notaries, and every single one of them takes a cut. That is what we call friction, and friction is just a tax on everything we do.
Okay, now imagine buying that same house, but its deed is a unique digital asset. The whole transaction is just one click. The deed is transferred from the seller's digital wallet to yours in seconds. A smart contract automatically handles paying the taxes and the agent's commission. There's no 3-month waiting period. There's no chance of fraud. It's just done.
And this is really the punchline. This isn't some niche crypto thing for tech nerds. This is simply a better way to record and transfer value. It's a transparent, secure, and ridiculously efficient database for reality itself.
What this all builds towards is this invisible layer that just makes everything work better in the background, turning assets from static, dumb objects into dynamic, programmable tools.
Let me give you a really simple example. You buy a concert ticket. Today, that ticket is just a piece of paper or a QR code. It does one job and then it's trash. In the utility era, that ticket is a programmable asset. So yeah, it gets you in the door, but maybe the next morning, it automatically gets airdropped a live recording of the show. And for the rest of your life, it could act as a digital key, giving you, say, a 10% discount on that band's merchandise forever.
And that's the fundamental difference right there. A static JPEG just sits in your wallet, hoping someone else will come along and pay more for it. A utility asset is dynamic. It does things. It works for you, long after that first transaction is over. Now let's apply this idea to a massive industry, gaming. This quote, man, it just perfectly captures the relationship that most gamers have with the platforms they spend all their time on. You pour your time and your money into these worlds, but you own absolutely nothing.
Think about it. Right now, if you buy a $100 cosmetic skin in a game like Fortnite, you don't actually own it. You're just renting it from Epic Games. If they decide to ban your account for some reason, poof, that $100 is just gone. In the utility world, you have true property rights. You own that item. You could sell it on an open marketplace. You could rent it out to other players for a little passive income. And maybe one day you could even take it with you to a completely different game. This changes gamers from being just customers into being true owners in the economies they help create.
So all of this is building towards what a lot of people think is the most transformative use case of all. The one that doesn't just change our finances, but the very idea of identity and trust in our society. The key idea here is something called a soulbound token. I know, the name is a little dramatic, but the concept is actually pretty simple. It's a digital asset that's permanently tied to you. It can't be sold or given away. Its only job is to be verified by other people. It proves something about you.
So what can it prove? Well, think about all the core pieces of your identity. Your university degree, your medical records, your professional licenses, your entire work history. Right now, all that data is scattered across 100 different databases, owned by 100 different institutions. With this tech, you would hold the keys to your own verified credentials.
So what does this all mean? It means instead of an employer just having to trust that your paper resume is accurate, they could instantly verify that it's true. This automates trust. We're moving from a system where we have to take people at their word to one where we can rely on verifiable mathematical truth.
Okay, so this sounds pretty cool, maybe a little futuristic. But why does this matter right now? Because this isn't some theoretical idea anymore. We're talking about a $16 trillion opportunity, a financial tidal wave that's already building. Just look at that number, $16 trillion. And that's a conservative estimate for the market of tokenized real-world assets by the end of this decade. We're talking stocks, bonds, real estate, art, intellectual property. Basically anything with value is in the process of being upgraded to these new, superior rails.
So let's just put it all side by side. This really spells out the shift we're talking about. The monkey era was all about speculating on cartoons. The utility era is about the frictionless transfer of real-world assets. That last phase, it was just a test net, a proof of concept. Now, the adults have entered the room, and this is the real thing.
And if you take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. The conversation has completely changed. This technology stopped being about cartoon art a long time ago. It's now about giving people direct access to markets, true sovereignty over their property, and a brand new foundation for verifiable truth.
So yeah, the JPEG is dead. The hype is over, the mania is gone. But the underlying technology, the utility,
That is just getting started. And if you wrote this whole thing off because of the last crash, you might be missing one of the most important technological shifts of our lifetime. The real revolution is just beginning.